And to the Board of Trustees this morning, appointing Dr. William Tate IV as President of the 22nd President of Rutgers University, the State University of New Jersey. And I'd like to follow that with some comments about the search process and why the Board of Governors is recommending this candidate for appointment. Last fall, we engaged Whit Kiefer, a nationally recognized leader in higher ed recruiting with a long-standing relationship with Rutgers, to partner with us in finding an excellent candidate for our next president. We convened a search committee of 20 members, including distinguished professors, faculty across all campuses and several disciplines, staff, students, and community members. We had more than 20 listening sessions, which included cabinet members, chancellors, the administrative council, provosts, deans, and all 3 boards. This included 6 town halls, 3 in person and 3 in Zoom, conducted at various times of the day, morning, midday, and evening, to accommodate everyone's schedules. Our listening sessions included students, alumni, and community members. We had over 500 people participate in the process. We also created a public website that was updated regularly as the search progressed, which had nearly 20,000 page views and over 8,500 users. We had a presidential email at Rutgers available for comment and suggestions and nominations, as well as an email from Whit Kiefer, which remained confidential. This was an extensive and inclusive search with broad engagement among all constituencies. The messages we heard across these sessions were clear and consistent. We formally launched the search with excitement in January, only to be confronted with a flurry of executive orders and attacks on higher education. Our search became quite challenging the first 2 months, as sitting presidents and other leaders in higher education were reluctant to consider new opportunities while their own institutions were facing a crisis. To Whit Kiefer's credit, they persevered and delivered to the search committee an exceptional group of candidates. We focused on sitting presidents and leaders at large public multi-campus research universities and included non-academic candidates as well as others. We focused on the 7 opportunities and expectations for leadership, which were outlined in the profile published on the website. The search committee interviewed several candidates and made a final recommendation to the Board of Governors. I cannot emphasize what a challenging time this was to recruit candidates and how critical confidentiality was to the success of our recruiting top-tier candidates. The Board of Governors, along with the chair of the Board of Trustees, interviewed the final candidates and selected a recommendation for appointment. We conducted thorough media checks through an outside firm and conducted thorough background checks also through an outside firm on all candidates. We selected Dr. Tate for many reasons. Dr. Tate is an esteemed and accomplished academic, a member of 2 academies, both the Academy of Arts and Science and the Academy of Education. He has more fellowships, awards, recognition, and publications than I can begin to enumerate here. Dr. Tate is an active educator and a lifelong learner and champions informal learning and experiential learning environments. Dr. Tate has distinguished himself with a commitment to academic accessibility and academic excellence with a focus on graduation rates and the overall student experience. He has proven himself an effective leader in collaboration with faculty and staff. Dr. Tate is an effective communicator, is charismatic, and has a great sense of humor. He doesn't lose sight of everyday challenges and is thoughtful to the welfare of others. He is down to earth, and you will find him relatable. Dr. Tate has proven experience in navigating a large, public, multi-campus, diverse research university at LSU with a strong athletics program. Dr. Tate has successfully increased funding from the state of Louisiana every year he was there, and he increased philanthropic fundraising every year to new records for LSU. Dr. Tate is an effective relationship builder and believes strongly that the state university can have a role in every corner with every person in our state. Dr. Tate is a big thinker and is committed to fiscal responsibility. We believe he truly is a president for the entire university, and he's very excited to be coming to Rutgers. With that, I will invite Vice Chairman Locke to read the resolution.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And just before I start, I want to just express my gratitude to these boards for giving me this opportunity to read this resolution. I'm very excited about where we're going, and this proposed resolution on the Board of Governors appointment of the 22nd President of Rutgers University, the State University of New Jersey. Whereas in accordance with the 1956 Rutgers, the State University Law, NJSA 18A 65-1, the Board of Governors is vested with the authority to elect the President of the Corporation and the University with the advice and consent of the Board of Trustees. And whereas on October 31, 2024, Ms. Amy Towers, Chair of the Board of Governors, initiated the process to identify President Jonathan Holloway's successor, who announced on September 17, 2024, that he would step down as president as of June 30th, 2025. And whereas on November 27, 2024, the Board of Governors announced the appointment of a presidential search committee comprised of 20 members selected through a thoughtful and deliberate nomination process to ensure balanced representation across Rutgers' diverse campuses and constituencies, including students, staff, faculty, alumni, and community partners. And whereas the Presidential Search Committee was co-chaired by Ms. Amy Towers and Dr. Alberto Quitino, Dean of the Rutgers School of Engineering and a distinguished professor of mechanical and aerospace engineering, and had its other members the following individuals: Matthew Colagiovanni, Deputy Athletic Director, Facilities, Capital Markets, and Internal Operations; Dean DeFilippo, Chair of the Rutgers University Foundation Board of Directors. I'm sorry, Dan DeFilippo. Apologies, Dan. Monica Driscoll, Distinguished Professor of Molecular Biology and Biochemistry in the School of Arts and Sciences at Rutgers University, New Brunswick. Marika Dunn, Executive Director of Research Relationships in the Rutgers Office of Research. Lucille Foster, Chair of the Rutgers University Senate. Parimal Garg, Partner at the law firm Lowenstein Sandler, LLP. Oscar Holmes IV, Associate Professor and the Director of Rutgers University Student Executive Program at the Rutgers School of Business, Camden. Frank Hundley, Trustee Emeritus of the Rutgers Board of Trustees, a former member of the Rutgers Board of Governors and former Chair of the Camden Board of Directors. Manuel Jimenez, Associate Professor of Pediatrics and Family Medicine and Community Health, and the Director of Research at the Boggs Center on Disability and Human Development at Rutgers Robert Wood Johnson Medical School in Rutgers Health. Kenneth Johnson, Vice Chair of the Rutgers Board of Trustees. Mark Manigan, Member of the Board of Governors. Rebecca Meze, student at Rutgers Law School at Rutgers University Camden. Jose Ramirez Garofalo, doctoral candidate and teaching assistant in the Department of Ecology, Evolution, and Natural Resources in the School of Environmental and Biological Sciences and enrolled in the Graduate School Studies University, New Brunswick. Savaira Rao, student majoring in Applied Mathematics and Urban Secondary Education at the School of Arts and Sciences at Rutgers University, Newark, and Vice President of the Rutgers Newark Student Governing Association. Alejandro Ruiz, University Safety Officer at Rutgers and the Executive Director of Rutgers Environmental Health and Safety. Jaydeep Vedya, Distinguished Professor of Computer Information Systems at Rutgers Business School, Newark and New Brunswick, and the Director of the Rutgers Institute for Data Science, Learning and Applications at Rutgers University, Newark. Gloria Vanderham, Chair of the Rutgers University Alumni Association. Nima Watson, Senior Vice Chancellor for Strategy, Diversity, and Community Engagement at Rutgers University, Camden. Whereas the Presidential Search Committee sought out and reviewed the candidacies of hundreds of individuals and interviewed and carefully studied the credentials and backgrounds of the most distinguished individuals among those identified. And whereas the Presidential Search Committee recommended the names of candidates in unranked order to the Board of Governors, who in turn interviewed and reviewed the credentials and backgrounds of this final slate of candidates and selected Dr. William F. Tate IV as the top candidate. And whereas Dr. Tate is currently the president of Louisiana State University, LSU, serving as Chief Executive and Academic Officer for both the LSU system and the LSU flagship campus. And whereas Dr. Tate previously served as the Executive Vice President for Academic Affairs and Provost at the University of South Carolina, and whereas Dr. Tate has outstanding academic credentials, including a PhD in mathematics education from the University of Maryland, College Park, and an MPE from Washington University, St. Louis, MA from the University of Texas, and a BS from Northern Illinois University. And whereas Dr. Tate has numerous publications, honors, memberships, including elections to the American Academy of Arts and Sciences, National Academy of Education, and fellow status in the American Educational Research Association. And whereas the Board of Governors found Dr. Tate to be a knowledgeable, charismatic, and accomplished academic leader who possesses the leadership qualities and vision essential to advance the quality and overall growth and development of the university and to bring the university's educational, research, and service programming to the highest levels. Now, therefore, be it resolved that Dr. William F. Tate IV is hereby elected the 22nd President of the Corporation, Rutgers, the State University of New Jersey, and of the university, subject to the advice and consent of the Board of Trustees, and that Dr. Tate, as President, shall serve as the university's Chief Academic and Administrative Officer and be vested by the Board of Governors with corresponding authority. And be it further resolved that Dr. Tate is hereby appointed a university professor and distinguished professor with academic tenure. And be it further resolved that Dr. Tate's appointment as President, University Professor, and Distinguished Professor with academic tenure shall be effective July 1, 2025, and that Dr. Tate shall thereafter hold office as President of Rutgers, the State University of New Jersey, indefinitely at the pleasure of the Board of Governors, subject to the terms of his signed appointment letter dated May 14, 2025. And be it further resolved that the Board of Governors charges Dr. Tate with the task of carrying forward the development of Rutgers, the State University of New Jersey, as a national leader in the great state university and land-grant tradition, serving the interests of the people of the state of New Jersey, the nation, and the world in the areas of scholarship and research, undergraduate, graduate, and professional education, healthcare, and public service. And the Board of Governors further charges Dr. Tate to set the highest standards of excellence in all of the university's endeavors. And be it further resolved that the Board of Governors seeks the consent of the Board of Trustees on this appointment. Madam Chair, I so move.
Thank you, Vice Chairman Lau. Please, may I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries. I will now turn the floor over to Madam Chair of the Board of Trustees for their consent.
Board of Trustees members, the Board of Governors has elected Dr. Tate to be the next president of the university. It is our responsibility to consent to this appointment. Vice Chair Johnson, will you please read the Board of Trustees resolution?
Thank you very much, and I'm also very honored to have the opportunity to read this at this time. This is the proposed resolution of the Board of Trustees consenting to the Board of Governors' appointment of the 22nd President of Rutgers, the State University of New Jersey. Whereas in accordance with the 1956 Rutgers, the State University Law, NJSA 18A 65-1, the Board of Trustees is vested with the authority to advise and consent to the appointment of a president of the corporation and the university, and whereas on September 17th, 2024, President Jonathan Holloway announced his decision to step down as president of Rutgers, the State University of New Jersey, as of June 30th, 2025, and whereas on November 27th of 2024, the Board of Governors announced the appointment of a presidential search committee that included two members of the Board of Trustees, namely myself, Kenneth Johnson, and Mr. Frank Hundley. And whereas the above-named trustee and emeritus, as well as other members of the Presidential Search Committee, sought out and reviewed the candidates of hundreds of individuals and interviewed and carefully studied the credentials and backgrounds of the most distinguished individuals among those identified. And whereas the Board of Governors has acted to appoint Dr. William F. Tate IV to be president of the corporation, Rutgers, the State University of New Jersey, and of the university, as memorialized in the previously read resolution adopted by the Board of Governors May 19, 2025. And whereas the trustee members of the Presidential Search Committee and the chair of the Board of Trustees, Ms. Amy Mansu, who participated in the Board of Governors interview process, concur in the judgment of the Board of Governors that Dr. William Tate possesses the leadership abilities, academic credentials, intelligence, and administrative skills to enable him to serve with distinction as the university's 22nd president, and recommended approval by the Board of Trustees of this resolution. And whereas on May 19, 2025, the Board of Trustees reviewed and discussed the credentials and qualifications of Dr. Tate, now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Trustees of Rutgers, the State University of New Jersey, hereby consents to the appointment by the Board of Governors of Dr. William F. Tate IV as president of the corporation, Rutgers, the State University of New Jersey, and of the university, and charges Dr. Tate with the conduct of this great state university in accordance with the law and with the policies of this university, and in service to the people of the state of New Jersey and of the nation.
Thank you,
Madam
Mr. Johnson. Members of the Board of Trustees, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Madam Chair, I turn it back to you.
A very big thank you to everyone. I will now entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Wonderful. The meeting is adjourned. I'd ask you to hold your seats, please. I'm going to go over into the Scarlet Room and bring in the 22nd president of Rutgers University, the State University, and our esteemed governor. Seated, thank you. Thanks for that warm welcome for our governor and our new president. Thank you again for joining us on this really important and exciting day for Rutgers, the State University of New Jersey. Over the last few months, the Board of Governors undertook one of the most significant responsibilities entrusted to us, the selection of the 22nd president of Rutgers University. We approached this work with integrity, intention, and above all, excitement for the future of Rutgers. From the start, our commitment was to be inclusive and to listen deeply to our students, faculty, staff, alumni, and our broader state community, and to let these voices shape the future of our university. The themes we heard were consistent and powerful. The need for an innovative, bold leader who lives Rutgers' values and sees the powerful possibilities in our multi-campus identity, who actively communicates actively and often, who is enthusiastic and excited about making Rutgers even stronger, and someone who really understands the moment that we're in, the challenges in the higher education environment, and sees the unique opportunities for Rutgers to succeed through it all. Rutgers is at an important inflection point, and we knew we needed a leader with the insight and experience to guide our university into its future. Today marks that meaningful moment in our history, one that reflects not just a change in leadership here, but a renewed commitment to the values and vision that make this university a vital part of New Jersey, the nation, and the world. Dr. Tate is that extraordinary leader, a scholar, an innovator, and a transformative force whose vision will unite academic excellence with public impact. I want to take a moment to thank many people who have made this process possible. I am deeply grateful to my colleagues on the Board of Governors for their wisdom, commitment, and partnership. I want to thank the impressive members of our search committee who volunteered their time, expertise, and insights to a collaborative and thoughtful process. You absolutely represent the very best of Rutgers. Much appreciation to Whit Kiefer for their expertise and guidance in a challenging national environment, ultimately leading to our very successful appointment. And I want to thank our staff and colleagues at Rutgers who worked tirelessly behind the scenes to make a complexly choreographed dance look effortless. You're also the best. I now want to thank the governor of the great state of New Jersey. Governor, you have a long-standing supporter of education in our state, as evidenced by the most recent #1 ranking in K-12 education in the country. And your support continues through all of higher education across the state, but your loyalty and commitment to Rutgers, the State University of New Jersey, is truly unmatched. Whether on the baseline at a basketball game or at football games, rain or shine, you are many, many other ways that you encourage all of us here. Your commitment and presence, and that of our First Lady, is deeply appreciated. Thank you again for joining us here today to celebrate this momentous day for Rutgers.
Thank you,
Governor.
Amy. Thank you. Thank you, Amy. To say that I am thrilled to especially not talk about trains this morning is the understatement of the year. Thankfully, we got that under our belt. Thank you, Amy, for those very generous words and for your incredible work as chair of the Rutgers University Board of Governors. We have Amy squared to my right. So Amy Towers and Amy Mansue, thank you both for your exceptional leadership. Good morning, everyone. I'm incredibly honored to be with you all here again in this very special space as we mark the beginning of an exciting new chapter for New Jersey's flagship university and one of the finest public research institutions in the entire world, and that is Rutgers University. For more than 250 years, by the way, longer than America itself has been a nation, Rutgers has prepared generations of New Jerseyans to lead our world in government, business, science, technology, and so many other fields of endeavor. Over the years, the students and faculty at Rutgers have been absolutely essential to securing New Jersey's reputation as the state of innovation, the medicine chest of the world, and the home for trailblazers and problem solvers from every corner of the globe. And if you need any evidence of how central Rutgers is to our state's identity, just head down or up the turnpike, as I just did, because it is hard to drive anywhere in the Garden State without seeing that large red R on the back of somebody's car or truck. And remember, Bill, we're from Jersey, baby. And over the past 5 years in particular, Jonathan, it's hard to believe it was not much longer than 5 years ago that we were standing in this very same space. President Dr. Jonathan Holloway has done an exceptional job in preserving More on Jonathan. Hold your fire for a second. An exceptional job in preserving and strengthening Rutgers' reputation on the world stage. At every step of the way, President Holloway has led with courage and compassion, whether it is championing academic freedom or securing record sums in research funding. And it is not just on the campus where Jonathan has made his mark. Outside of campus, he has also emerged as an influential civic leader. And I have two personal experiences of many that I know we all share in this room of Jonathan's incredible impact on campus and off. He and I gathered a few months ago to discuss the commemoration of the upcoming 250th anniversary of our nation's founding through the lens of Black history and Black lives lived. One of the most compelling conversations I've been a part of in my time as governor. And in fact, later today, Jonathan and I will be together for another conversation, this time with the Wealth Disparity Task Force, for which Jonathan has served as co-chair. In all of the above actions on campus and off, I've been incredibly honored to consider President Jonathan Holloway a collaborator, a thought partner, and of course, a friend. One more time for President Jonathan Holloway. And while we are sad to say farewell to Jonathan as he prepares to embark on his next life chapter, I know that Amy's and their colleagues have identified literally the perfect candidate to take on the mantle as president of Rutgers University, Dr. William F. Tate. He is the ideal leader and educator for the job. Currently, Bill serves as president of another one of our nation's premier public universities, Louisiana State University. In this role, he has brilliantly led an institution of more than 60,000 students and has worked to cultivate a positive learning environment for each and every one of them. And by the way, those 60,000 students are spread across 8 campuses, a far from insignificant experience as it relates to overseeing Rutgers' multiple campuses. And outside of his role with LSU, Dr. Tate boasts an impressive and frankly almost overwhelming list of honors and accolades, from being awarded the Anna Julia Cooper Postdoctoral Fellowship to being elected to the National Academy of Education, and his highest academic honor, election to the American Academy of Arts and Sciences, and so much more. We could go on, I promise you. But beyond his remarkable achievements in academia, Dr. Tate, much like Dr. Holloway, has proven that he is prepared and devoted to defending the values of Rutgers University, to supporting and empowering its more than 68,000 students, and in preserving its reputation as an anchor institution for our state and the entire nation. Bill and I had the honor, I should say, of speaking with Bill during the process, and I was instantly and incredibly impressed. As they say in the movies, he had me at hello. So, Dr. Tate, I am incredibly honored to say congratulations and to welcome you to the home of the Scarlet Knights. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Governor. The governor has done such an exceptional job of describing why the Board of Governors and the Board of Trustees has selected Dr. Tate. I'm going to skip my comments because he did such a great job. So right now, it is my absolute honor and privilege to introduce the 22nd president of Rutgers University, the State University of New Jersey, Dr. William Tate IV.
Well, I appreciate the wonderful introductions. Before I offer words of thanks, I have to get this off of my chest. For the last 4 years of my life, I have absolutely, without question, never, ever thought I would have red on again. And be clear about it, when I see red, I want to win. That is the bottom line. But it's an honor to be here. It's an honor to be in this position. I am very thankful, Governor, for your participation. I am very much thankful to the Rutgers governing boards. It's really a pleasure. I want to thank the search committee who did an outstanding job. Oftentimes we talk about search committees as search and screen. That is not the way you do search committees. It's really search and be an ambassador. Tell the story of an institution. That was done in extremely good fashion. I really want to offer a special thanks to Amy and Mark Manigan. Amy and Mark worked with me in this process. They were charged in that committee function. You could not have had better ambassadors for this institution. I mean, really winsome. And I say that because I don't stand here if it was not for an opportunity at LSU. And in fact, if I go back over my particular life, and I'll do it in chronological order, I don't stand here if not for the University of South Carolina. I'm not here if it wasn't for Washington University in St. Louis. I am not here if it wasn't for TCU. I am not here if it wasn't for the University of Wisconsin at Madison. I'm not here if I didn't take that job right out of college as a teacher and coach in the Dallas Independent School District. I'm here because all of those people and millions of human hours invested in the human capital project called education also informed who I am as a person. Every one of those places made me better. And so I'm thankful to all of my colleagues in all of those institutions for helping to shape who William F. Tate IV is. I owe you a great debt. I'm also want to say to you, and I've said this to some friends, we stand at the edge of possibility. We stand at the edge of innovation. We stand at the edge of excellence. Sir, I turn to you. They stood for you. We've chatted. if you took a presidency in 2020 and you ended it in 2025, I would submit to you those are the 5 hardest years to ever be a university president. And I want to commend you publicly for all that you've done to put Rutgers in the position that it's in today. We are literally at the edge of something extremely special. It's already great. I learned so much during this search process. The Rutgers edge for me is more than a metaphor. It is an expression of New Jersey's grit, toughness, and resilience. I'm from the south side of Chicago. Bronzeville serves New Jersey and me. And there is a lot in common between the grit, resilience, and toughness required to negotiate Bronzeville and here the great state of New Jersey. So I'm ready. We're up for this. I saw that Rutgers edge in the commitment to excellence in scholarship, research. What an amazing faculty. And I mean across the board. Outstanding in the biomedical sciences, outstanding in philosophy, outstanding in public policy, outstanding in law, outstanding in business. Really doing a great job. The epitome of outstanding urban institutions in Camden, in Newark, and right here. This is really what the world is. You epitomize it. It's amazing to me. I also want to shout out the baseball team in Camden. I saw you won a conference championship. No. So, Governor, you're known for your ports, aren't you?
We are.
You have ports here. You have ports here, that's right. And what goes into the port? Ships. Ships. That's what goes into the port. Our job at Rutgers is to create an alignment that we have more ships in the form of championships than you get over the net field. That's what we need to be in the business of. Because what draws young people to a campus? Of course the parents ask, is it a great academic school? But they want to have Greek life. They want to have great sports. They want to have that traditional experience. And I believe Rutgers has all that rolled into one. And I'm going to say this because it's my opening salvo to this community. I was born in the cradle of the Big Ten. I want to win the Big Ten. You know, I'm not interested in being in second. And I'm saying that, I know it's tough. But you have to set the standard. And I want to say, I watched you all open that cancer center. I watched it on YouTube, thankful for social media. I literally almost cried. I've been working on NCI designation in my current job for 4 years. To see what you have accomplished here and to know what is going to manifest in terms of saving people. But just take that as a type. Pick the next area and the next area and the next area. That's what the edge is about. Pushing it over and over again to be great. And then think about the students. In the end, it's always about them. When they leave here, I want them to go into the marketplace and say, I have the Rutgers edge. I'm going to win. I'm going to win. I'm going to win. You're going to hear me use team metaphors over and over again. Because in the end, if we work together and collaborate, and by the way, I think New Jersey is known for politics. Fortunately, I'm from Illinois. The realities are, through our own political leanings and the like, if we still come together and figure out a way to be tough, gritty, resilient, a New Jersey edge touched by Rutgers is the winning formula. We can do it together. I'm excited to be here with you. I also would be remiss today if I did not thank my family. My wife planned a trip. She's in Greece. I want to live a long life. So I didn't touch that. But she has been an amazing partner for me. I want to thank my 2 children who, over the years, also have sacrificed their father's time so that I could do what I do. So I'm really appreciative. I look forward to working with everyone here. It's an exciting time to be part of the Rutgers family, and I don't take it lightly. Each of you means a lot to me, and I hope to get to know you all over the course of the time that I'm here as president. Thank you.
And with that, I want to thank everyone for joining us for the formal part of the meeting and remarks, and invite you to join us at the Rutgers Club for a welcome reception for our new president. See you there.
Great job, Nate.